Hi everyone, my name is Bridgette Gosselink, and on behalf of Google.org, I'm so pleased to welcome you here tonight to the community space and for one of my favorite days, Fast Forward Demo Day. 5 years ago, we were introduced to Fast Forward, and at the time, it was really just an idea with Shannon and Kevin, and they had a list of the kind of tech nonprofits that they knew, and importantly, they had a Twitter handle, which is how we met. And we, fitting for a couple that met online in our first date, really connected over our shared values, which were really a strong belief that tech had the potential and, in fact, the necessity to really be used for good, and that the nonprofit sector and the nonprofit community was not yet fully realizing that potential, and that we wanted to see more happening in that ecosystem, to see more organizations like those that you'll hear from tonight come forward and become a reality. So we became Fast Forward's first donor, and it's really been remarkable to see the organization's growth, to see the number of amazing teams that have come through the program, and to see the incredible amount of support that has come to the organization itself and to those teams. As Google.org, we've given over $1 million to the teams that have come through Fast Forward, and over 200 Googlers have volunteered with Fast Forward, mentoring organizations, providing input on their projects, advising them, and even joining their boards. So it's really been incredible for me here on our 5th demo day with Fast Forward to see the incredible growth from that idea to the movement that this has really become. And we have been really privileged to be just a small part of that, as many of you have as well. So with that, I will now hand it over to Kevin, the co-founder of Fast Forward.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kevin Barenblat, co-founder of Fast Forward, and I'm so excited to welcome you to Fast Forward's 5th Demo Day. First, a huge thank you to our host, Google. As Bridgette mentioned, Google has been a partner to Fast Forward since day one. They've supported our program, granted $1 million to tech nonprofits that have come through our accelerator, and many, many, many millions more to other nonprofits. We're so thankful for their support. We wouldn't be here today without Google's support, and we really appreciate all their support of us and their impact in the community. So first, before we get started, raise your hands. Raise your hands if you've been to a Fast Forward Demo Day before. Awesome. And for how many of you is this your first time? Great. Well, you are all in for a treat. We have some of the most talented and inspiring entrepreneurs in Fast Forward's Accelerator program this year. And, oh, what a year it's been. Tech's been in the news a lot lately, and not for creating the tech utopia we'd hoped for. In a moment like this, like a crisis of consciousness in the tech community, I can't help but wonder if we're measuring the right things. Engagement, time spent, GDP, unemployment, are these the right metrics? What about dignity, well-being, justice? Where do they fit in? When our collective moral frames are economic and not moral, are we contributing to the problems, maybe without even realizing it? And what can we do to address these inequities? Ben Rattray from Change.org spoke at Fast Forward's first ever accelerator session, and the origin story he shared with us stuck with me. Ben told us about how when his younger brother Nick came out, he shared with Ben the pain he experienced as a young, confused and closeted young gay man. He told Ben that the hardest part wasn't the people who were actively anti-gay, but the people who passively stood by, who refused to stand up and speak out. People like Ben. Did you hear that? It's the silence the inaction that hurt the most. The harsh reality of Ben's silent complicity set him on a path to find ways to be more actively supportive, founding change.org. Are we complicit? In what ways do our actions or lack of action contribute and perpetuate today's problems? How can we, with our privilege and power, change the status quo? I think we can do better with our time, our money, and our tech. If you're anything like me, maybe you're an engineer by training, a believer in innovation, or the potential of tech as a force for good, maybe you came here tonight looking for answers. We won't disappoint you. But in addition to being inspired, I want you to get involved. I want you to volunteer with these teams and consider joining the boards. And I want you to donate. You can give to one team or to all of them, $20 or $25,000. But I want you to donate in a way that's meaningful to you. Our goal tonight is 100% participation. Because if we're going to change the status quo, we cannot, should not, will not be bystanders. Now it's my pleasure to introduce you to my co-founder, Shannon Farley.
Hi, welcome. It's thrilling to see all of you here. We have mentors in the room, family, friends, and new friends to fast forward. Thank you for being here. I want to thank Google.org, BlackRock, Comcast, and Omidyar Network for making tonight possible, and all of our accelerator partners over the summer who hosted these teams over the last 13 weeks. You are really in for something special. The teams you are about to meet are at the starting lines of their stories. We know this because we've seen it before. We've had 31 teams graduate, as these teams are about to tonight. Those teams in 2017 served 35 million people. Yeah, and they raised 56 million in follow-on funding. Yeah, in 2017 alone. And those numbers sound big because they are. They're really big. But when you hear how the teams got to that point, you realize the enormity of their achievements. Take Peter Galt. Peter Galt is the founder of Quill. And Peter is a coder by trade and a bit bookish by nature. And he got that way because as a kid, he got turned on to reading and writing through his debate club. We met Peter 3 years ago when he went through the accelerator, and he was just starting to build his free apps to teach kids how to write well. But the beginnings of things are really hard. And they're particularly hard if you're a tech nonprofit and it's difficult to source early funding. So when Peter was in the program, he almost ran out of money. But Fast Forward believed in Peter. And people in this room, those folks who raised their hands, they believed in Peter. And we all bet on Quill. Well, last week, Peter came to talk to this cohort. And he shared that in 2018, Quill served 1 million students. Yeah. And those students wrote 120 million complex sentences that were automatically corrected on Quill's machine learning platform. Quill's thriving, and there are students all over the country who are learning the fundamentals of good communication. We can agree that's pretty important these days, right? We're giving each of you the opportunity to invest in the next Quill tonight. You have pledge cards in your program. You can give to one of the teams. You can give to all of the teams. We can collect cash here. We have volunteers who will run your credit cards. We'll take your donor advised funds. We can work with you to get it through your companies. We're looking for 100% participation. And the reason we're looking for that is because early money is different than any money you raise. It's not just the cash, which is important, but it's the jolt of confidence you get that someone believes in your world vision. Someone trusts in you to build a different future than the one we see today. So I hope you will join us in supporting these teams. They are incredible. We chose them from nearly 150 tech nonprofits around the world. We chose them because of their leadership, the quality of their technology, and their passion for doing good. All of the teams you're about to meet have personal experience with the problem they sought to solve. All of the teams have a co-founder who's a woman or person of color. Yeah. And all of them are going to knock your socks off. So you ready to meet them?
Yes.
All right.